What's going on, my dudes? Oscar checking in with an all new video talking about the angle manga. I got this is my first restricted video, my first age restricted video. If you saw the title, you know exactly what this is about. I'm assuming you're clicking because you've read the manga, and you want to talk about this damn thing. Let's get into this. I cannot wait to jump into the madness, into the damn near hentai that is Destiny Lovers. I've got all the volumes right here. Let us talk about this insane series. I'll do I'll do part one first. I'll do the first four volumes first, and then we'll talk about the second four. So I'm gonna do this in two parts. Part one will be non-spoiler for people that don't know what the hell this series is about but are curious, and there will be minimal spoilers there. I won't say anything. And then I'm gonna do part two, and then part two will be full-on spoilers for the whole damn thing. Let's get into this. I don't want to waste any more time. Sub to the channel. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I would appreciate the living hell out of it. Let's get right down to it. We start off in a dark room with an unknown boy. He's bound to a chair and he's afraid. No idea how he even got there. He's trying to figure out what happened. He was at school and then he was moved suddenly to somewhere else. There is noise coming from somewhere, so he beckons for help, but the kind that comes isn't the kind he's hoping for. He feels hands on him, a soothing voice that startles him instead of calming. Suddenly a beautiful girl walks in, one with short hair and a curvaceous body. She straddles him and teases him. The girl is scantily clad, vivacious, and tries to come on to this boy. She does everything in her power to get him erect. She rubs her tits in his face, turns around and shows him her ass. She comes on strong, figuring this is what men want. This kind of plays out like a weird incel fantasy where women swoon over unfuckable virgins. She even tries to pull his pants down and everything, but he isn't having any of it. Why? Because he promised his virginity to a childhood friend. This is the tip of an iceberg that soon turns into page after page of how is this not hentai? This is how Destiny Lovers begins, and then it descends into absolute absurdity. We soon learn that the boy we met in the dark room, Fujishiro, is not the only one in this facility. There are 5 others also being held captive, and much like himself, they're also virgins. The girls from this facility will do whatever it takes to make these men have sex with them. Why? We do not yet know. What we do know, and we learned this early on, is that after sex, the men are killed mercilessly by firing squad. We do eventually see why men are killed post-sex, but we will save that for part 2 of this video. To get the virgins to make love to them, the girls elicit whatever means they have at their disposal, from their bodies to making foods with aphrodisiac-like effects that give the guys extreme hard-ons. The girls even arrange sleepovers with the boys, so they have no choice but to get close together. To combat this and preserve their virginity, the boys concoct different ways in which to protect their virginity, including discreetly masturbating by rubbing their dicks on the floor as they do military-like crawling exercises. Little do they know they're better off staying indoors than seeing what awaits them outside. So from here on out, I'm going to cover everything now. Now that we've gotten through the first part of it, and we talked about the essential theme of the series, and how it's kind of like prison school. It's like the reverse of prison school, and I always point out my prison school volumes over there, but it's like the reverse of prison school. It's like these dudes read prison school and said, what if the exact opposite happened? That is Destiny Lovers, essentially, like that other one, Parallel Paradise, or like fucking redo of Healer. These things that just like essentially border on hentai, and it's just way too much. Like, it surprises me, but then again, they are released by what was this company? Ghost Ship. They're the ones that put these volumes out. And yeah, these are all like mature. And you read these things and they are like really, really fucking mature. So, spoilers from here on out. Now I'm going to go into the next part of this series. I hope that if you're somebody that hasn't read the manga, that after what we talked about a moment before, that this will pique your interest and you'll want to check it out, and hopefully you enjoy the series. It is extremely raunchy and there's really not much else going for it other than just being over the top as fuck. That's like really all there is to it. It's like you're not gonna find some deep, profound meaning in this. You know, you're not reading Goodnight Poon Poon or anything like that. You're not reading Monster by Urasawa. You know what I mean? Like this is it is what it is. This is like the fucking fast movies, and except for family, we're talking about sex. So, yep. Thank you for watching. Let's get into part 2. Alright, so as we find out in Volume 4, after men have sex, they become Raiju, which are these huge hulking monsters reminiscent to those in Hellbound, only these have strange markings on them. They rampage and lay waste to all in their paths. Because of this, immediately after having sex, the girls of the Saints Agency take out the male subjects. They plan to rebuild humanity from within these facilities, bringing in virgin men and teenagers and then executing them once the deed is done. This story is by no means a masterpiece, but I kind of look at it like the Fast and Furious movies. You kinda just gotta shut your brain off and go along for the ride. I did have high hopes for the series and it fell short of them. It spent so much time setting up the world only to go nowhere. I bought the last 4 volumes as they were released by 7 Seas, anticipating how it would all end, and then the letdown, it just ends. That is it. No real resolution. It cliffhangers. I did some research and found out that there is more to come after all, as there is a 3rd and final arc, though that isn't out yet in English if it will ever be translated into English. I can't be too hard on the series though, as it isn't Evangelion, it's not Berserk, it wasn't meant to be deep, it did what it needed to do, and then it got the fuck out. Parts of it are ridiculous as hell too, like one of the original virgins is a trained assassin, as well as a necrophiliac. 2 of the original virgins also turn into Raiju after sex. One of them does it for love, and the other one does it to protect his friends and the girls from said necrophiliac. It's extremely entertaining, the end was rushed as all hell, but every other chapter leading up to it was a lot of fun. And I even want to say that the island arc was my favorite. I liked Anna a lot. She was a breath of fresh air up until she got the thirst. I liked the brick shithouse ex-cop Harada's relationship with the idol girl, Ayami. This time, instead of our boys being paired against more girls from the Sage Agency, they're dropped onto an island with girls who despise men and started an anti-men movement led by Enna. Silver-haired Sayaka-chan making up the rules of the games as she went along was great too. The second arc also brought one of the most loathsome and despicable sexist shit ever, Kamada, fuckboy extraordinaire, king asshat. Seriously, fuck that guy. He is the embodiment of being a creep. This is a prime example of how to absolutely and disastrously misread signals. When he died, I gave -0 fucks. And we also find out one of the original boys, Kazamatsuri, was actually gay the whole time, which makes a whole lot of sense if you go back to the beginning of the series. Regardless, it ends up putting our lead Fujishiro into an odd sort of predicament where he's being tongue-kissed while asleep. He thinks it's a girl only to find out it's another dude. Not one to be left out of the fun, the beautiful Enna completely disrobes for the chance to win Fujishiro's affections. Each of these provides a certain kind of stimulation for him. Kazamatsuri has this technique to turn a straight dude gay, and well, Enna-chan's got the goods, and plenty of them, round and soft. And there is a point to it all, as the characters are all, every one of them on the island, outfitted with a wristwatch sort of device, like a Fitband, that rates how horny they are. So yeah, it's essentially a horny meter. The hornier you can make a person, the more points your smartwatch earns, and then you turn around and use said points to buy food or a place to sleep. Otherwise, our characters are sleeping outside. This is all in an effort to A, get them to fuck, and B, get them to fuck so those in charge at the Saints Agency can see if an experimental serum actually works. The serum is supposed to combat the bizarre sickness that men have that turns them into Raiju post-sex, and sadly it doesn't work with everyone, as we see with Harada becoming a full-blown Raiju after having sex with Ayami, though he does retain some semblance of who he was. There's even one dude so far who can have sex and begins to partake in these wild-ass orgies with lots of different girls, getting them knocked up with a seed. It reminds me of the breedable memes. From this point, the series really does turn into Redo of Healer and Parallel Paradise, as I've mentioned already in this video. Peter Grill in The Philosopher's Time also comes to mind. Interspecies Reviewers, which was cancelled hard as fuck. Shimoneta is great too, as is High School of the Dead. All series with similar or exact storylines as far as sex and huge-ass titties goes. It's so cut and paste too. Usually it's like some random ass oblivious virgin dude that falls into the I have to protect every woman ever trope if he doesn't trip over his fedora first. This is often the chosen one, and either he's taken out by truck goon like so many other isekai bros, or he's kidnapped, which is the case with Destiny Lovers. The original Japanese name of the series being Desuraba, and spelled in katakana. I'm, in a sense, taking a shit on this series, but I have enjoyed the hell out of it. It's really well drawn. The characters aren't cartoons. They feel like their own persons. They have emotions and convictions outside of having sex to save the world. I do want to read the rest of this manga. I've already bought and invested time in the first 8 volumes of it. I need to know how it ends, if it does have a legitimate ending. Just kinda hoping it isn't all one big letdown like Prison School was for so many others. I haven't finished Prison School myself, but much like this series, I plan to give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll be reading that whole thing start to finish in one go, and then I'll do a video about it too, and give my honest opinion, same as I'm doing here with Desuraba, or Destiny Lovers. So I want to say this before ending the video. The cliffhanger is kind of annoying, with the dude who fucks showing up on the island, along with the leaders or representatives, whatever they are, of the Sates agency, and taking Sayaka-chan. She gives Fujishiro a fleeting tear-filled glance before being whisked away and onto a helicopter to be he who fucks his new plaything, in addition to his harem. Fujishiro is left behind on the island, along with his friends and the former man-hating girls, no way to escape. They're in desperate need of some sort of miracle. Harada, in his Reiju form, is taken away to be experimented on, airlifted in a crate, which hangs below the helicopter. Fujishiro glares up at the heli as it dissolves into the horizon, telling himself one day he'll save Sayaka-chan. Alright, so it feels wild that, I finally made my first age-restricted video. I was thinking about this for a while, and I'm probably going to end up making more of these going forward, because I'm doing, my Gantz one's probably going to end up being age-restricted, because I'm doing a Gantz video. I'd mentioned it in my manga haul video, my last one that I did, that I'm going to be doing a Gantz video soon, so I'm really excited about that. And then I'm going to be doing a Gigant video, so that's going to be coming up soon as well, and I'm really looking forward to that, because I have so much content that I want to do for this channel. It's a super duper small channel, and even then, I'm investing in different things. I have lighting, you can see everything's so much brighter than it would be normally, when you come to this channel. But I'm trying to invest in different things. I got a tripod that I put my camera on now. At first I was stacking it on books, which is true, I was stacking it on books, but the more time I spend with this channel, the more I want to evolve it and do more stuff. So yeah, going forward, I'm gonna just keep investing in better things, even though I really don't have a huge sub count or anything. I just want to make the best content that I can, just because it feels good to be able to present things in better and better qualities, and eventually I will be presenting this stuff in 4K. So we'll see what ends up happening. I am really excited for the future of this channel, and I'm a big supporter of physical media. As you can see, I have tons of manga, and then I have the full series here. I read the whole thing to make this video. I didn't read it for the sake of making this video, but because I had read it. I was initially just gonna do a let's talk about with the first volume, but once I got reading it, and the more I read of it, I was just this is insane. I was this series is insane. And I really haven't seen videos about it. I think I saw one that was asking, or that was wondering if the show or if the manga was really that dumb. Other than that, I haven't really seen anybody mention the series. And I figured, before anyone beats me to the punch, I'm sure somebody else did. But before, I just figured, I'd make my own video to talk about it. And I have a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about, and I kind of want to say that I want to stray a little bit away from the more mainstream shit, even though I may eventually branch out and do those kinds of videos talking about things like Demon Slayer or My Hero Aka, things like that. I kind of don't want to do those videos just because I feel too many people do those videos. I want to just do random shit that I want to talk about. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing these. I'll do the vinyl journeys that I'm doing. Those are separate from this, but I'll do my my manga videos. Let's talk about the unboxings. I have an unboxing coming up. This is a special one for me. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, but that is coming up, and I'm extremely excited about it. I don't know how I'm gonna set it up yet, but I kind of want to change things up a little bit. I'm gonna try to keep it short too, because I want it to be as accessible as possible. Even this video, I kind of want to trim it down a little bit, just to make it not be super duper long. I've noticed some of my videos are getting extremely long, so I want to cut as much content out as I can, just random ramblings. like I'm doing now. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. I still have to cut all this together. So yeah, support physical media if you can. I know these volumes are really difficult to come by. I know this first one's like nigh impossible to get your hands on. I think some of these other volumes too are really difficult to find. Like I think this volume, for whatever reason, I think volume 5 is also like impossible to find. I know volume 4 was like out of print for a while, and I like ended up buying it from somebody, and now it's in print again, which is really random. And there's even more of this series out in Japanese that isn't even out in English yet. So that's pretty wild. That's it. That's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to keep it short. I don't want to make it too long because I see like people kind of tend to lose focus after like 5 or 6 minutes. So hopefully this won't end up being another 40-minute video since I've been kind of making my videos a little too long. So thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me that you hung out. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, I have a lot more content on the way. I hope to put out at least like 3 more videos this month, maybe 4. If I'm lucky, I'll put up like 4 more videos. That's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Oscar. Take care of yourselves.
How you feel when you sippin' on drip in the whip? Haters talking shit, but I stay rolling lit. Stay holding splits, man, I crave popping pills. Sluggish on the drink, bitch, I'm chugging refills. Hallucinating